Meanwhile, the Democratic Party spent tens of millions of dollars to marginalize me, to make me look like a crazy person.
12 seconds later.
Teens today have 50% of the sperm count, 50% of the testosterone as teens, American teens 2 generations ago.
So apparently, New York Magazine on Thursday said that its Washington correspondent, Olivia Nuzzi, is on leave after learning the Star journalist had allegedly engaged in a romantic relationship with RFK Jr. This girl is 31. Like, am I missing something here? What is it with gorgeous women and this guy? He's married to Cheryl Hines. Like, I mean, clearly she has a type. I mean, her ex-fiance now, after this, is Ryan Litha, who's 50, so 20 years older than her, and she cheated on him with a guy that's 20 years older than him. Like, she clearly has a type. I mean, really, what does it for you, ladies? Is it the crazy COVID vaccine conspiracies?
It's the product of a pharmaceutical-driven biosecurity agenda that will enslave the entire human race and plunge us into a dystopian nightmare.
Yep. I know I sure feel like I'm enslaved. Hey, you know those other 5 billion people that took the vaccine? Don't you guys all feel enslaved right now? You know, 4 years out. I mean, when is this post-apocalyptic hellscape supposed to kick in? Any timeline on that, or just, you know, sit and wait? And then, oh yeah, then he texted an apology to the nanny he sexually assaulted, you know, so just stand-up guy there. Here's him joking about eating a dog. Apparently this is a lamb. I mean, jury's still out on that one, but, you know. And then him getting 83 people killed in Samoa. That's another tidbit that not too many people know about.
How many cases of measles were in Samoa between, say, 1986 and 2019?
I have no idea.
Right, okay, I've got that. 1986, 1 case of measles. 93, 7. 2005, 0. 2006, 0. 2009, 0. And in 2019, there were 5,707 measles cases. Do you know what happened in 2019?
Yeah, I'm aware there was a measles outbreak, but I didn't have anything, you know, I had nothing to do with people not vaccinating in Samoa. I never told anybody not to vaccinate. I didn't, you know, go there for any reason to do with that.
One News has learned of a high-level anti-vax meeting just before this deadly measles outbreak, a meeting between vaccination critic Robert Kennedy Jr. and anti-vax blogger Taylor Winterstein, publicising her meeting with the high-profile Kennedy as profoundly monumental for her movement.
This so-called anti-vaxxer, Edwin Tamasese, he had promoted the use of vitamin C to cure the disease.
During the country's 2-day mass measles vaccination drive last week, he posted, "I'll be here to mop up your mess. Enjoy your killing sprees."
Yeah, so, you know, 83 people got killed because of that idiot and his fucking anti-vax bullshit. So, then he got, I don't know, diagnosed with brain worms, apparently, that ate part of his brain, which I guess, I mean, kinda gives him a bit of an excuse for being such a crazy whack job. I believe there's a picture of, yeah, here he is, Dr. Robin Williams, extracting some of the brain worms from his head there. There we go. And then, oh yeah, just palling around with sex traffickers and all the shittiest people that you could possibly think of.
Jeffrey Epstein's jet, were you?
I was on Jeffrey Epstein's jet 2 times. I was on it in 1993, and I was on it and I went to Florida with my wife and 2 children to visit my mom.
By the way, that was after the flight logs were released and showed his name on it, so it's not like he's just offering up that information willy-nilly.
Yeah. So, and you run into everybody in New York. I mean, I knew Harvey Weinstein. I knew Roger Ailes. I knew O.J. Simpson came to my house.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby came to my house.
Yeah, so just, the best guys that he hangs out with. And oh yeah, and then there was this tidbit from I believe like March or April where his campaign director blatantly admitted on camera that their plan the entire time was to throw the election in favor of Trump.
So there's no Biden voters in the House, right? No. Okay, good. But the Kennedy voter and the Trump voter, the enemy, our mutual enemy is Biden. Give those 28 electoral votes to Bobby rather than to Biden, thereby reducing Biden's 270. And we all know how that works, right? 270 wins the election. If you don't get to 270, if nobody gets to 270, then Congress picks the president. So who are they going to pick? Who are they going to pick? If it's a Republican Congress, they'll pick Trump. So we're rid of Biden either way. Does everybody follow that? Okay.
And then there was the playing with roadkill obsession that he has, where he's just gotta scoop up the. And by the way, I mean, this story, like, this was another one that he just tried to do damage control because the reporter that was doing the story reached out to him for comment, so he knew that the story was about to come out, so he released this crazy video with Roseanne Barr, of all people. He goes over the details of what he claims happened, and I'm calling, like, bullshit on about 50% of it. Yeah, he claimed somebody else killed the bear, and he just picked it up because he wanted to eat it, and, just had to play with it first and take a bunch of stupid pictures, and then he left it rotting in the back of his car for a day or two, and decided to try and frame a cyclist for killing it by planting a bike next to it and make it look like I don't know, somebody ran it over with a bike. But, that was another one of his playing with dead animal instances that has nothing on this other story where he's now currently being investigated for beheading a whale and driving around with it on his car across state lines, which is a crime, by the way.
Bear story has got nothing on the whale story. Just this week, a decade-old profile of RFK's daughter, Kik, resurfaced, where she recounts an incident from her childhood. RFK got word there was a dead whale washed up on Hyannisport Beach, and so naturally he raced over there with a plot to take a souvenir, and Kennedy cut the dead whale's head off with a chainsaw, and then he took the decapitated whale head and he bungee corded it to the roof of the family minivan and drove 5 hours back to New York with his family in the car. As his daughter remembers it, and I'm going to try to get through this passage, every time he accelerated on the highway, whale juice would pour into the windows of the car. It was the rankest thing on the planet. We all had plastic bags over our heads with mouth holes cut out.
So yeah, just normal stuff there. I can't imagine why his own family thinks that he would be a horrible pick for president, and they all ended up endorsing Joe Biden instead. Just normal Republican stuff. And don't even try and give me that he's a libertarian. I mean, libertarians these days are literally just Republicans that have one or two Democrat friends that they don't want to alienate, so they just call themselves libertarians. Like, oh, I'm just in the middle, Like, no, these cowards are all Republicans. If you, he's so libertarian that he immediately dropped out of the race after begging Kamala for a cabinet position, and when she said, fuck off, he went and ran over to Trump. So yeah, that's how libertarian he is.